this was after Dad had married Linda. When I was about 7 years old, he married Linda, and I remember an experience that really moves my own heart every time I think about it. But Evelyn and I were roaming in the Filipino plantation camp that was located just across the highway from where we lived on Kilauea Avenue in Hilo. And I was about 12 years old at the time. She was about 13. And we heard music that sounded very interesting to us. And since we were just roaming with nothing to do but looking for something to do, we decided to follow the sound of the music. And when we located it, we noticed that it was coming from a tent full of people that were singing some songs. And the flaps of this large tent were rolled up so we could see all of the people inside and see everything that was going on. And we noticed that on the platform there were these huge beasts, 4 of them. And we got so fascinated looking at those beasts that Evelyn and I decided we'd just slip in behind at the back of the tent, and we found a couple of empty seats there, so we just sat down on those folding chairs and listened to the man talk about those beasts. And apparently he saw when we came in, and he saw that we were interested in watching it, because we just never took our eye off of it. And even though we were just 2 little kids, we kept glued to the sermon and to what he was telling about those beasts. So at the close of the message, he made a beeline to the back of the tent before we slipped out. And we weren't dressed for any meeting like that, but you know, we had just seen it, so slipped in there to listen. Well, he got back there before we left, and he said that he noticed that we were interested in the beasts, and he wondered if we wanted to know more about those beasts. And we said, yes, would you like to have me come over and show you out of the Bible, tell you more about those beasts out of the Bible? And we told him, yes, we would really like that. And so he asked us what our name was and where we lived. And we told him we just lived across the road. So when he went home, he got on the phone and he called my stepmother, and he asked her for permission to come and give us some Bible studies on those 4 beasts. Now at the time, of course, he didn't know that my stepmother had ever been connected with that church or any other church for that matter, but he just was interested in giving us the Bible studies. So she said it was perfectly all right, and he came over and he spent the time every week. He came over faithfully and he took time to study the Bible, just studying the Bible with all the prophecies in the Bible, those 4 beasts and everything else, you know. He just gave us a complete series of Bible lessons, Evelyn and I. Well, when we got through with the series of lessons, you know, he asked us if we wanted to give our hearts to Jesus and if we wanted to be baptized. We certainly did. So we both gave our hearts to the Lord, and we decided to be baptized, and we were baptized. Now, in order for us to be baptized, of course, a mother had to take us to church. And so she did. She took us to church. And ever after that, she kept coming to church. And though we had never seen her go to a church before then, but she kept coming to church, and it wasn't long before she was playing the piano, because they didn't have anybody that was as good a piano player as she was. So she was just playing the piano. And I remember, you know, when she first started playing the piano that she had her rings on, and the church in those days just were down on rings, and so some of the church members apparently were criticizing her or criticizing about it, and to different people. So she took it off and continued playing for the church. But that's the way Evelyn and I got to know the Bible and to study it and to learn about it. And shortly after that, I was baptized, of course, when I was about 13, early 13, and Evelyn was baptized at the same time that I was.